we're trying to get done today. We're going to attempt to do the next several stages of the project. We'll walk you through it and see how much we actually get done. So today we're going to be working on the shelves that are all on this wall. Come back to our badly done drawing here. So we're going to have 8-foot shelves. The lowest one is going to be counter height, so standard kitchen counter height. And then 3 shelves at the top that's going to hold all our bottles and glassware. We've decided to turn this cabinet into 2 doors because this would have been swung out too far, being a 3-foot door. So we're making 2 doors here. As you can see, all this piping, which will eventually, hopefully that'll be our next stage after all this is done, will be copper piping, which is actually going to be painted PVC pipe to go with the steampunk theme. So today also I'm going to be doing all the touch-up and the faux finishing that I talked about for our brick. We have quite a few gouges that we didn't cut this perfectly, so there's quite a few gouges up here. So I'm actually going to be taking just sealant caulking and just touching that up, getting it all sealed up, because obviously we're going to have a lot of moisture in the board top. And then I'll be just touching up all the paint. I've chosen the sphaculum paste to do all the mortar that we've left open for the brickwork, and to pull together our seams. I'll be using the spackle and then faux finishing that to make it all blend together. The trim needs a lot of work. I'm going to cover up all the tack nails, and originally I used 2 different spray paints. This is the trim that we used around. So I used 2 different spray paints to create the copper lip, but a lot of it is scraped off. So we actually found a latex paint that I can do all the touch-ups with on that. This is what we're using for our shelving. It's ready to be painted. We decided that we wanted the look, or initially we wanted metal shelves. So we actually looked around and we checked like restaurant supplies and decided that that was way too expensive way to go. So I also had thought about using flashing to cover wood to give the metal shelves that I wanted. But again, we're simplifying, and we found a paint. So hopefully that'll come out good and gives us a metallic look we're going for. These are the brackets we're using, which really isn't that important because I'm hoping that the copper piping we're putting in kind of distracts from the brackets, and I haven't decided if I'm going to paint these yet or not. And let's see. Oh, this is our supplies for the cabinet door. What is this, 1x3? Mm-hmm. And I got these old antique knobs that we're going to use for the hardware on the front, and then our chicken wire. And that's going to help us not only get the steampunk look, but we have earthquakes here, so people are fast, safe, and locked up. And Billy can talk about what else we're doing today.
Over here on this side, today's basically is making sure that this is going to be square to the main bar top by anchoring it to the wall, as well as building a shelf to fill in that area. Anchoring is going to make it more solid. The weight of the chest actually is enough that it's pulling this up. So we're getting a little bit of binding out of the slide rail, so anchoring it will make the slide rail so it slides a lot smoother than it already does. Once we get that all finished, then we'll be able to start the actual plumbing from the CO2 bottles into the kegerator and then back around. Down here we've used the back paneling of actually our antique refrigerator as fill to cover up the front of that. It's all 2x4 finish. We haven't really done any of the finishing on this side like we've done the other. I'm waiting to get everything solid mounted and then come up with what kind of finishing to do back here.
I'm gonna say where the CO2 bottles are gonna go.
Oh, so the CO2 bottles are going to be actually visible, so we'll be able to see when we build the shelf. We'll have a couple CO2 bottles in this area strapped in, and then we'll build a plumb back underneath the slide into the refrigerator, basically making it, one, easy to change them out, as well as not tying up any space inside the refrigerator to store the gas.
And it goes with the theme.
And yeah, the gauges and the valves and the hosing, and the CO2 canisters all go with the steampunk bar. So great utilization of a functional piece they incorporate in. So that's it, other than getting started.